everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a What's on my Kindle TBR video to share with you. So I've done these every couple of months now where I download books on Kindle Unlimited and I do a TBR for you guys. They are very different than my monthly TBRs only because some of these books I may or may not get to, but these are the ones that are on my radar and I want to share them with you just in case if you've never heard of them and you want them to be on your radar too, or you've read them and you can give me your opinions in the comments down below, whichever. Or they're also on your TBR and they're on your radar and you want to read them with me. Any of those things, you know what I mean? So I do have my Kindle next to me. I have the Kindle Paperwhite, this one, and I have lovely, beautiful stickers on them. But I do use my phone for these videos just because it goes faster on my phone. I have 15 titles downloaded. Some of these are going to be the same that I've kind of previously talked about. I think 3 of them are going to be the same. But these are books that I really do want to read before the end of the year. But I feel myself going into the Christmas mood right now. I mean, it's still kind of hot here, but I'm feeling the Christmassy stuff. You know what I mean? So we'll see how many of these that I do get to, but I do want to get to most of them. So I'm not going to like load up my KU with all 20, but I'm definitely going to talk about the 15. So the first one is one that I think I've previously talked about in one of these Kindle Unlimited TBR videos, and that is Home Run Proposal by Marietta Moore. I want to read this just because it's a baseball romance. The cover is pink and I find it absolutely adorable. So this one is for sure on my radar. I've heard nothing but great things from Tabitha from Probably a Love Story. She is like the one person that put me onto this book. So I'm really excited for this one. The next one is I Need You to Save Me by Genesis Fox. Well, they went by Genesis Fox previously, but it's all Genesis, just Genesis now. This is the 3rd book in this trilogy, and I have been like waiting to savor this book because I loved the first 2 books in this series, but one of my patrons, Kamal, actually read the whole trilogy. I think back in October, maybe September and October. She was like, I absolutely loved it. I'm so glad you mentioned it. So she said that the 3rd book was really like an emotional roller coaster. So I'm really nervous. Like, I'm ready. I need to like close out this trilogy and finally see where their happily ever after goes, because honestly, they have been through it. They've been through the ringer with things. And I have started this. I think I'm like 2 or 3% into it, but I was like, nope, I'm not ready. I froze up and I was like, I'm not ready. The next one is The Problem with Dating by Brittany Cherry. This is a new release that she has, and it's just been sitting on my Kindle waiting for me to get to it. I did clear out some new releases like Madame and Tell Me What You Want by Lucia that I'm not going to physically read. I probably will get the audios maybe for those later. This one is staying on my Kindle because I do want to read it. Another one is Love Me by Tiffany Patterson. This is the 2nd book in this billionaire series that she had. I loved Trust Me. It was so good. I talked about Trust Me a lot and I really love this one, but this one is a Friends to Lovers, a billionaire romance, which Friends to Lovers is one of my favorites when it's done really well. So apparently his best friend Monique, he has had feelings for her for forever, and she needs a man who's docile, safe, a nice guy, and he's never been that. Which I'm like, yes, give me more. Oh, she has type 1 diabetes in this book. And apparently she's dumped after her fiance when she's in the hospital with like a flare-up or something with type 1 diabetes. So she returns to her hometown or their hometown, desperate to find her footing again. And he's done sitting on the sidelines. He's a grown man now, still dangerous, but I've learned to manage my dark urges over the years. Monique believes she's a burden that I don't need, but she doesn't get it. I'll offer her a deal. I'll give her the money she needs to start her art gallery she's always wanted. And you'll give me 3 months. 3 months for what? To make you love me. I love a man that is like, he knows what he wants. So that's another one that I'm still really excited for. I also have Before the Sunset and On the Shore downloaded. So Laura Pavlov has a new book coming out. Is it in November or is it in December? No, it's in November. It's like towards the end of November. But I really want to get caught up on this series. I read Into the Tide. I did enjoy it. And I read the 2nd book, Under the Stars. And I did enjoy that one. So On the Shore is the next one, and Before the Sunset. I don't think you have to read them in order, but I want to because I'm just that type of bitch. But Before the Sunset is, I think, book 4. It is a Friends to Lovers, small town. Yep, it's book 4 in the Cotton Cove series. He's an actor in need of a makeover, and she's determined to show her ex-fiance that she's moved on. Oh, it's fake relationship too. Okay. Fake relationships haven't been my best, like my favorite thing to read, just because I read one and it wasn't my favorite. But On the Shores and Enemies to Lovers, small town romance where he's like the GOAT of the NFL and she's a hot-headed reporter that despises him. So I'm really excited to try those. I did get On the Shore in the Hello Lovely fall box, so I have the special edition of that one that I'm really excited for. Another one that I've seen like popping around Instagram, but I haven't like seen too many people even talk about it, is The Spotlight by Anne Einerson. So this is a brother's best friend, opposites attract, rockstar romance. He's a heartbreaker, rockstar, and her childhood best friend. Her childhood best friend's older brother. So I read that wrong. It's a brother's best friend. Yeah. Okay. So her childhood best friend's older brother, and he's the lead singer of the Sovereign Kings. Apparently, he's just a player with a reputation. He's the first boy that she's had a crush on. And now millions of people are obsessed with him and his band because he's the lead singer. And she prefers the shadows over the spotlight. So the spotlight burns bright, but Conway burns brighter. That seems really good. I just have like a mix of different things on my Kindle, so I definitely have that one. Another one I have that I've heard people talk about is Off the Hook by Julie Olivia. This is a small town single dad romance. It's the first Never Harbor series. I need a nanny, but I may need her more. He has the reputation of Never Harbor's secluded single dad, and he has everything he needs. My imaginative son, my dog, and our remodeled cottage by the sea. That is until my nanny quits. My brother's ex-fiance, Wendy Darling, is an elementary school teacher with a free summer. What? I love a small town gossiping romance, like where everyone in the small town gossips about things. So that makes me really excited. Like I've downloaded these books because I've seen the cover, but some of them I haven't like fully read the synopsis for. I'm just in my small town era right now. Like that's what I really want to read. So another one is Where We Started by Ashley Muniz. This is a small town MC romance. It says, usually watching a notorious biker club mourn the loss of their beloved president would be a dangerous choice. 10 out of 10 do not recommend, unless of course your family. I didn't really consider myself part of my father's legacy until I find out what he left behind in his will. Property, 10 acres to be exact, which included the headquarters for his beloved motorcycle club. I have no idea that by accepting the terms of my inheritance, it would thrust me into battle with the new club president. Wesley Ryan was unfathomably handsome, menacing, and formidable in every way. That is until he decides to play dirty. He brings up our past and wanted us all to go back where it started. Back to when we were 9 and I was just a girl next door who snuck into his treehouse. Back to when he'd fight the boys who made me cry. Back to when he first kissed me and stole my heart. I had to remember Wes wanted to claim my father's property, not me. I walked away once. I just had to prove I was strong enough to do it again. That sounds so freaking good, guys. Like, I'm so excited to read that one too. That one is, I think I saw Jess talk about it. She got the book early, I think, like a PR package. Another one I have downloaded that I'm really nervous about, honestly, is Watch Your Mouth by Candy Steiner. So this is a brother's best friend hockey romance. I don't know. I liked Meet Your Match, but I feel like this one is not going to be my vibe just because I've been hearing like I've heard good things. I haven't heard like the best, but I've heard like it's a solid read by Candy, and I want something that like makes me excited. So I've had this downloaded just because it's a new release and I want to support Candy, but I don't know if I'm going to pick it up right now. I don't know. I also just read Ice Bet by by S.J. Silvis, which is a like coach's daughter like off limits thing, and this one is my brother's teammate knows not to touch me, but that doesn't stop him from wanting to be the first to break the rules. So I don't know. It's just like that one was so good. Ice Bet was so good. I don't want to dive into another book that is similar to that when it might not live up to my expectation. Now, this next one is a Mafia romance that I'm excited for because I read Dom by S.J. Tilley, which is I think the 3rd book in this series. Yeah. And I was obsessed with Dom. Okay, you can read them totally out of order, but they're like not unhinged, I don't want to use that word, but like the heroes are very possessive, very alpha, very much like in your face and possessive over their women, which I really love. So I want to go back and read Nero, which is the 1st book in the series, and I cannot wait. Literally, I cannot wait just because Dom was so good. The 4th book in the series comes out in December by S.J. Tilley. So I definitely want to get caught up in the series because the 4th book is Haas. I think his name is Haas. and that comes out in December. So I have the second book, I have the first book, Nero, the second book is King, and then I'll be caught up. So I'm very excited. I also like to throw in a little bit darker Mafia stuff, just like mix things up. Like I said, that's been what I've been feeling. I also have Tijan's new book, which is Pine River. I don't love the cover, but you know, we'll give it a try. So Pine River was supposed to be a new start for me, and it was, especially attending school with my 3 overprotective cousins who were the triplets at the top of the social hierarchy, except they weren't alone there. The first day when I came to school, I saw him. Scout Raiden, tall, lean, tattooed, mesmerizing. He was a golden god with dark and piercing eyes, looking like he wanted to eat me up. The feeling was mutual, and that was a problem. It was a lust, want, must have, loathing, hate experience all at once, and I was affected. I didn't care how much money his uncle had. I didn't care that it seemed every girl wanted him. I didn't care about his reputation as an up-and-coming fighter or the promise of how those hands would make me feel. What I did care about was staying as far away from Scout as possible. Woo, this is 130K word, 554 pages. This better be good as shit, but I'm excited. I always love an up-and-coming fighter romance, stuff like that. Now, I do have 2 Morgan Elizabeth. The one that I've already talked about is The Fall of Bradley Reed. This is like a John Tucker Must Die inspired one. The next one is Big Nick Energy, okay, which I don't really like the title. It's not my favorite. It's a single mom cowboy Christmas romance, and I think I've been seeing the teasers, and I think that sounds absolutely amazing. So I've downloaded those 2. I do want to read The Fall of Bradley Reed first, or at least start it and see if that's what I'm in the mood for. If not, I'll move on to more of like the Christmas style one that she did. I do love 'Tis the Season for Revenge, and she wrote that last year and released it last year. It was one of my favorite Christmas romances. It was on one of my top books of the year. So, and the last one I have to talk about is When It Burns, and it's a small town romance by Holly Lucky. I've seen some people talk about this. He takes a job as a fire chief in the small town of Springside, Alabama. He doesn't know what to expect, but Caroline Tyler walking into his life was not on the list. Apparently, he became enemy number 1 in the town, juggling his new job, a rundown farm, new title as the volunteer football coach. I have more on my plate than I can handle. So it doesn't give really anything away. It's just pink cover, and I've heard people talk about it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll download it and see if that's for me, because you never know, right? But that's all the books I have downloaded from Kindle Unlimited right now, just because I want to see what they're about. Like I do want to see what it's all about. Dropping me a red heart emoji, any type of red heart emoji in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content for me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.